Hey, what's up guys, Trigger Wolf here, and somebody asked me about my thoughts on the new patch in MGO, and I thought I'd give my opinion. And then go into some suggestions, because I thought I'd make this more of a suggestions video than anything. I think the patch has gone in several good directions, but I think there's a lot of things that still need to be fixed. I like the knife, bringing back the old school knife and the old school knife animations, that's cool. I like that they fixed the wake up animation, so that's just like MGO 2. That's good, you know. Survival is back. I haven't tried survival yet, and I might never try survival because I don't have a team and I'd rather not go in with randoms, I guess. But you know, I think it's going in the right direction, but it still needs help. I think they still need suggestions about what they can do to make the game better. So here are some suggestions that I wrote down on my phone. First thing I wrote down is MGO has problems. Not sure why I wrote that. It's kind of obvious. MGO has problems, need to be fixed. Second thing I wrote down is actually something I read on the MGO Reddit, in that there's no trap detection currently. What Field Report does instead is they ping you if an enemy is close by to you. People can be detected through their stealth camo if they're just close to an enforcer. And I don't think that's entirely fair, to be honest. So what I would do is I would remove the ping from the player and put it on traps instead. So if a player gets close to a trap, the trap would ping off the red circle-y thing that normally happens. The third thing I wrote down is that the buddy system sucks compared to the SLP. The SLP system was a lot better in that you can tag more than one person into your buddy system, and you can also share abilities. By that I mean if you had an ability like Monomania, if that's how you pronounce that, Monomania, whenever your buddy hits somebody, they would glow for a brief second, showing their position to everybody on the SLP system. So that was a lot better than what we have now, I think. What we have now is if your buddy dies, it kind of soft marks the person that killed him, and I think that's okay. But I think buddies also need Monomania. In addition to this, I think that the buddy system also needs sound alerts whenever something happens to your buddy. So if something like traps, CQC, or charm, or death, or whatever happens to your buddy, you should get an easier readout of when that happens. This was a thing that was included in MGO 2. Not sure why they didn't bring it back for MGO 3. I think the sound alerts were absolutely necessary because it gave you just that split-second alert whenever your buddy was charmed and you were able to just rush in and help him. And the last thing I think needs to be changed is the dive function. I think the dive function is just a little bit ridiculous in that you can be fired at, absorb a bunch of bullets, and then just dive repeatedly until you're behind cover again. It's not entirely fair, I don't think. I think dive needs a little bit of a cooldown, or it needs to be slowed down a little bit, just like the roll was in Metal Gear Online 2. While Metal Gear Online 2 had the roll function, you can also roll to the left or the right. You can also back hop to get away from CQC attacks. But I don't think that's something that the MGO team could really handle, because it's sort of like the base game in MGO5, rather MGS5. So, you know, I think the dive just needs to be slowed down a little bit. I think you shouldn't be able to do it so often, and I don't think you should be able to dive and then trap somebody with the dive using like puppies or whatever. Some people have tried to do that to me. It hasn't worked all too well. If it had worked once or twice, but really, it's just a stupid ability. It should not be a real thing. If you have any new suggestions for Metal Gear Online, aside from please shut it down, go ahead and write it in the comments, and maybe we'll talk about it in another video. So, that being said, I thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. Later.